Welcome to Cubs Classics, proudly presented by Pregame. Time to relive another chapter in Cubs history.
What's made this series so exciting is the fact that a lot of Cub fans have come north of the border. You see a sea of blue Cub hats in the stands, and folks are ready for a sweep. To accomplish that, the Cubs are going to have to do something against Doug Davis they didn't do at all in Wrigley Field, and that's get at least a few extra base hits. And if they can follow the same script, scoring early in the game, they can take a little pressure off Kerry Wood.
Yeah, how about scoring a run? Davis beat him 2-0 back in Chicago, and he's been nothing short of spectacular since coming over off of the waiver wire from the Toronto Blue Jays. Davis taking his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at the Cubs starting lineup as they've won their last 4 games. Tom Goodwin leads off in left field. Moises Alou still unavailable with that sore left knee. Tony Womack bats in play second. Sammy Sosa's in right. Aramis Ramirez the cleanup man. The sausage buyer Randall Simon is at first. Ramon Martinez at short. Doug Glanville in center for Lofton. Damian Miller catches. Kerry Wood pitches and hits ninth.
Let's look at Doug Davis. The fastball is just average. He does have a good straight change. He's shown very good control against the Cubs, and maybe the left-handers will be the key. There's 2 of them at the top. They both can run. They'll both put a little pressure on him.
Davis starts the game with a soft fastball over the inside corner, belt high, and strike 1 your count. Breaking ball, a beauty.
Since Davis took off the Blue Jays uniform, he's been nothing short of sensational as a Brewer. ERA under 1.
One ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Tom Goodwin. 1 for 5 in the series is Tom. He scored a run. That one nearly clipped him on the way by, and the count evens at 2-2. 78 degrees at first pitch today.
Beautiful day. It's been a beautiful series. The roof has been off, meaning it's going to be very lively today, and with 370 to the power alleys, the ball just rockets out of here.
Goodwin slaps it away and stays alive here in the top of our first.
I would anticipate with Goodwin at the top along with Womack, they'll approximate what Lofton's been doing. When he gets on early, it's hard to keep him from scoring.
Breaking ball sweeps off the plate. Good at bat by Goodwin to run the count full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. So we've got first inning action here with Tom Goodwin leading things off. Womack waits on deck. And he coaches a walk. Real good at bat.
Well, I think for Doug Davis, he'd rather see right-hand hitters than left-hand hitters. And the reason is normal guys stack their lineup with right-handers, and you have the same release point. Every hitter looks the same to you. You key in on that outside corner, the straight change is easy to throw. When you stagger your lineup, when you face a lot of lefties, if you are a left-hander like Tom Glavine, who's much tougher against right-hand hitters than lefties. I think the Cubs will score early in this one, and that depends a lot on Tony Womack.
He pushes a bunt toward third, but that's out of play. And Womack down a quick strike. Cubs have speed at the top of their lineup. They've had real good contact and speed with a combination of Lofton and Grudzielanek hitting first and second respectively. And now you have the 2 speed burners of Goodwin and Womack ahead of Sosa, Ramirez, and then another left-handed bat in Randall Simon. So an interesting look for the Cubs. Let's see if it works out in the wrap-up game. And the first, and again Goodwin back standing up.
Well, I just picked up a couple of lineups from the back of our pack, and what I saw was the stats of Houston and Montreal, which will be very good, but not necessarily for us today.
Montreal will be our opponent starting on Tuesday. Of course, we'll be playing in San Juan. And Houston comes to town for a 4-game series.
It's Hiram Bithorn Stadium in San Juan, and Bithorn is aptly named because it is a little bitty ballpark.
Out of play by Womack. No balls, 2 strikes. They can also call it Bitwarm Stadium. It's going to be approaching 90 degrees and muggy, as you'd expect in the tropics.
Also the artificial surface. This surface, it'll be lightning fast. This is a good playing surface here in Milwaukee.
Slapped out of play by Womack. Davis having to work hard here in the first inning. Already 10 pitches, and he has yet to retire a Cub hitter.
It's been the two left-handers that have made him work hard. So an inspiration by Dusty Baker. He just had a thought that they would be a little tougher than the lineup he put against him in Wrigley Field. Richie Sexton at first base again. That's a familiar sign to all the Brewer fans. He's played every inning of every game all year long. That's a remarkable accomplishment.
Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Even more remarkable for Sexton the other night. Juan Cruz absolutely smoked him with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the ribs in the 3rd inning. Sexton stayed in that game and played very well last night. 1-2 pitch over the screen, back toward us, and out of play again.
Doug Davis came very close to balking that time. It's okay to quick pitch, but you have to come to a full second pause. And if he does what he did last pitch again, he'll probably collect his first balk of the year.
Inside the bag at third fair. Around second, heading toward third is Goodwin. The throw into second, not in time. Womack doubles, and 2 are on with nobody out.
Brooks Kieschnick had a pretty good idea. There was no way in the world to get Goodwin at third. He decided to go after the trailer. Most guys don't do this. The head first slide got Tony in at second base, and the left-handers do indeed start the Cubs off in great shape in the first inning. We've seen Kieschnick as a pitcher. We haven't seen him as an outfielder. He takes a little time to deliver the ball, but he makes an accurate throw. And as you can see, Jerry Davis on the call, and a correct call, as Womack was in easily at second.
So a walk and a double brings up Sammy Sosa. He's 3 for 8 in this series, and he has pounded the Brewers pitching all year. A .421 season batting average against Milwaukee.
He's 0 for 2 lifetime against Davis. They're playing back in the infield. They're going to concede the run to stay out of the big inning, and Sammy needs some contact.
That's off the plate.
Advantage he might have is Davis is not normally a strikeout pitcher. He's had just 15 strikeouts in 29 innings. So about 4.5 a game doesn't usually instill a lot of confidence you're going to throw it by people.
It'd be nice to give Kerry Wood a lead. He's not had many of them the last 9 games he's pitched.
The Cubs have picked up 2 runs in the first inning in the first 2 games of the series, and that really helped propel them to victories. And there's 2 standing out there right now.
2 balls and a strike to Sosa. Hot shot. Oh, nice pickup by Ginter at second. He will concede the run. Not only was that ball hit like a rocket, but Ginter had to avoid Jerry Davis, the umpire. And he made a terrific play to retire Sosa, but give him an RBI. Goodwin scores, Womack to third, and the Cubs lead by a run.
Sammy hits the daylights out of this ball. It's low and away. He loves the ball down there. And Keith Ginter, who's had a very good series, makes an excellent play. This one turns him around. And they're running on contact. You would expect with the infield back you do that. Now the infield comes in at all 4 positions.
For Ramos Ramirez. Love a deep fly ball here. Ramirez, a 3-game hit streak. He's knocked in a couple of runs in the series.
Well, Kieschnick has a good arm in left field, but he takes a while to deliver it. Clark has a very good arm in right field, and he's a little quicker. But Sednick's arm is good for center field, but it's not great overall.
Upstairs to the Cubs third baseman, Ramos Ramirez. The Cubs enter play today a half game behind Houston. The Astros riding a hot streak. They've won their last 3 games, and they pounded San Diego last night by a 10-4 score. Morgan Ensberg had a big day for Houston.
Got a buddy of mine that lives in San Diego, and I called him after our game, and he was relaying the play-by-play to me of the Houston game as they started to pull away from the Padres.
They're scoring a lot of runs, almost 7 a game in their last 2 weeks. That dances into Ramos. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You got to hopefully look for something up in the zone and hit it by these infielders. Hitters will tell you they're 50 points better with the infield in. There's absolutely no angles on any ground balls. If you don't hit it at them, it'll go through. You can also loop it over their heads.
2-2 the count, comes by a run, and Ramirez shoots that ball to left. Kieschnick coming on. He misjudged it. It's over his head. A run will score. Aramis on his way to second base. There's a big break. It's 2-0.
He's going to get a sacrifice fly. It's going to be E7. Again, you're asking a guy who's been pitching all year to now play a position, and sometimes you make a bad play. The Cubs are getting a whole lot of breaks. First of all, Aramis made contact. Kieschnick was thinking about throwing it before he caught it. And I think you have to give the run batted in. That will be number 90 for Ramirez.
So it's 2-0. Another runner in scoring position for Randall Simon. And time call. It is a sacrifice fly, E7 on Kieschnick.
The Cubs have scored now 2 runs in the first inning of every game in the series. You keep doing that the rest of the way, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape.
You would think. That misses inside, as you heard Gail Fisher report on the Cubs pregame show. Randall made section 112 real happy. Spent about $1,100 buying free Italian sausages for the paying customers in that section here last night.
There was one guy real unhappy, and that was Ron Santo, the king of Italian sausages, and he didn't get one. He wanted to move to section 112 just so he could participate in the freebie.
I thought Ronnie made a sign. Stuck
send
112.
one up here.
Yeah.
I mean, there he is.
Again, time call.
Of course, he's wearing that hat. Ronnie never missing an opportunity to wear a promotional hat.
At least finally he's got the color right.
That's true. And he's wearing blue today.
So Ronnie's dear friend Linda Dillman watching at Bernie's, as is the whole gang right across from Wrigley Field today, as the Cubs off to a good start. 2-0. Linda, you'll be happy to know once again Ronnie avoided the check after the game last night. 2-0 is your score.
And I think, Chip, you can see that if you stack your lineup with some left-hand hitters, Davis isn't the same pitcher. He has yet to retire a left-hander. And the Cubs have not only a 2-0 lead, but a good hitter's count for Randall Simon, who's been hot.
That ball hammered into center field, but not real deep. Scott Pasednik makes the one-handed grab. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ramon Martinez with 33 runs batted in himself.
Let's take a look at the Brewers defense and how they'll line up behind Davis. It's Kieschnick, Pasednik, and Clark left to right, with Helms, Paul, Ginter, and Sexton. Eddie Perez behind the plate, and the aforementioned Doug Davis on the hill.
Ramon grounds that ball to the left side. Hall with a good arm at short takes care of the man that's had most of the luck against Doug Davis this year. Cubs get 2 runs in the first. That's the 3rd straight game they've done that. Kerry Wood has an early lead in Milwaukee.
College basketball is on Marquee Sports Network. Friday, it's a Conference USA matchup as New Mexico State takes on University of Texas El Paso. Friday at 7 on Marquee Sports Network.
Fans, sign up for the Marquee Sports Network newsletter and go deep with your Chicago Cubs. Get in-depth reporting, exclusive video content, promotional announcements, and more. Go to marqueesportsnetwork.com/newsletter and sign up today.
We love the holidays, but they can be stressful and sweaty.
I sweat profusely from my armpits.
There are times where my underwear is soaking.
I hate having sweaty feet.
That's why we created Carpe, sweat care to keep you dry everywhere.
I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
It stops the sweat every single moment of every single day.
So this holiday season, you won't have to be an ugly sweater. This holiday, give the gift of dry. Get your limited time holiday offer at mycarpe.com.
Good things come in Warby Parker glasses. Yes, in the glasses. You see, these lenses are scratch resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. So are these lenses. And these. These too. In fact, all of our lenses come that way, for free. And in these glasses, blue light filtering lenses. Clear, huh? You can add them to any frame for just $50. So that's the good stuff. Try our lenses risk-free for 30 days or try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Autism is a developmental disorder that impacts 1 in 54 kids. Marquee Sports Network, Rush University Medical Center, and Autism Speaks are partnering to raise the voices of the autism community to educate, unite, and support families with autism.
It's really about finding your people, the support systems, the families that have gone through this.
Learn more about autism and how you can fund life-benefiting research by visiting marqueesportsnetwork.com/autism.
Here's Cubs team historian Ed Hartig with a Hall of Fame spotlight, presented by Miller Lite.
Leo Durocher was named manager of the Cubs following the 1965 season, officially ending the College of Coaches. After a 59-103 record in his first year, the Cubs played at a .529 clip over the rest of his tenure. Durocher's 1969 Cubs won 92 games to finish in second place, the best finish by the Cubs since World War II.
The Cubs were finally able to scratch a run or two against Doug Davis, and now Kerry Wood with an early lead to face this Milwaukee starting lineup. Scott Posednik leads off in center with Keith Ginter, Brady Clark, and Richie Sexton to follow. Brooks Kieschnick, the former Cub, is in left. Wes Helms at third. Eddie Perez, Bill Hall, and Doug Davis, the lower third of the order.
Here's a look at Kerry's here on for the 29th start. He's got 3 complete games, trying to run his record over 500. The ERA still awfully good, and of course 228 strikeouts.
And Scott Posednik with a 7-game hit streak leads things off. This guy, in my opinion, is going to be, or should be, the Rookie of the Year in the National League. And he's hit well against the Cubs all year long. Dangerous leadoff man for the Brewers. He took over that job when Alex Sanchez was traded to the Detroit Tigers.
He's taken a couple of pitches already, something I don't think Sanchez did the first month and a half of the season.
And he shoots that ball toward left center field. That ball is going to drop and get past Goodwin and roll to the wall. Posednik has another hit in this series. He's 4 for 10 against the Cubs here.
He knows the fastball is coming because Woody's behind 2-0. That's really the key to the at-bat. Then he slices the ball into left center. Goodwin thought he could grab it. Didn't take the best angle. He wasn't going to get that one anyway. We've told you how lively this is during the daytime. So they've got their leadoff hitter aboard. And Posednik continues to roll right along. Woody, by the way, 5-5 lifetime against the Brewers. But the ERA 2.82. That typifies what's happened to him this year.
This year in 14 innings, Kerry's given up just 1 run to Milwaukee. He's 1-0 against them.
But over the course of the season, Chip, I'd have to think, looking at Kerry Wood, you have to realize he hasn't had the most offensive support. The 2 runs in the first inning, a welcome departure from what he's seen most of the year.
Ginter's had a good series, and he cuts and misses. Miller keeps it close enough to avoid Posednik taking third base. You're right, though, Stoney. Kerry in his last 9 games, 2-5 his record, and has received 16 runs. That's it. 16 runs in 9 games.
What makes this team as good as they've been, and the Brewers have been as good as anybody over the last 3.5 weeks. In this series, they've had 5 hits out of both Posednik and Ginter at the top, 1 and 2. Normally, you put those guys out at the top, and the guys in the middle drive them home.
1 ball, 1 strike. Wood keeping Posednik close.
Have to be careful with Ginter. We've seen him put a charge into a fastball, and he can hit it alley to alley. He hit a home run to right center last night on a fastball, and that was from Mark Pryor. So throw him a good hittable fastball, he'll hit it hard.
Two balls and a strike to Ginter. He's homered in the series. He's driven in 4. Brewers 2 games over 500 since the All-Star break. You have to tip your cap to Ned Yost. They've done a terrific job with this team. Aren't too many clubs, whether they're 25 over or 25 under, that can say they've rattled off a 10-game win streak. But that's what Ned Yost's team did before they came to Chicago.
Well, coming into this series, they won 14 of their previous 16 games. The Cubs have cooled them off, however, and they're 0 for the season against the Cubs in their home park.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Ginter hit with a breaking ball. 2 are on with nobody out. 17th man Kerry's hit by a pitch this year.
One of the things we've seen about Woody lately is that he rolls that breaking ball a lot. And when you do that, it'll hang high and in to the right-hander and high and away to the left-hander. That one bounced off Ginter, and now you have some real problems with Clark and Sexton and Kijnik. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
So Kerry leads the league in that dubious category, and Clark digs in. Clark taking over for Jeff Jenkins, who broke his thumb a week or so ago and is lost for the season. And he backs away from a high fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. We'd like to welcome our affiliate Cass Cable and their viewers in Virginia, Illinois, to the season wrap up with Milwaukee. Cubs trying to go 7-0 at Miller Park this year.
Clark has grounded into 9 double plays this year. But you have to keep your eye on Podsednik. He's their best base runner by far. He swiped 36. He's been caught just 8 times. And nobody is pushing him back at second base. You'd like to see Womack do that a little more.
Inside call. Clark didn't think much of that call.
Well, Clark's been hit 6 times because he stands right on the plate. And right now, if Kerry Wood can throw that good hard breaking ball, keep it out of the zone, he's going to get Clark. Clark normally has been a pretty good contact man this year. That's what leads you to believe he got a chance to turn 2.
In the dirt, Miller, another good stop.
Damian Miller, a local product, still makes his home in La Crosse, Wisconsin in the wintertime. Saved wild pitch number 10 for Kerry Wood.
And the last time we were here, Damian Miller was entered into the Wisconsin Baseball Hall of Fame.
Pretty nice honor.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, if you're Ned Yost here, you think about sending the runners. Trying to stay out of double play. You know that Clark makes contact. If you can throw it by him, you'd be better off going to second on the throw than third. Podsednik has much more speed than Ginter.
Here comes the 3-2. The runners are going. It's fouled away.
You don't want to leave your positions too early, but Podsednik's outrun Ginter by 35 bases. He would be your target.
Again the 3-2. Again the runners lead at first and second with nobody out. Runners don't go this time, and it's popped up. Clark will be retired on the infield fly, 1 away.
Let's listen to the scouting report on Kerry Wood, and who better to give it than Damian Miller.
Kerry Wood, the most likely stuff I've ever seen. You know, that's tough to compare, but his stuff can be just devastating at times. way above average fastball, above average breaking ball, and above average slider, and now he's working on a split. So when he gets it all together, he's going to be as dominant as anybody in this league.
Well, let's hope he can take care of Richie Sexson here, a man that's taken him out 3 times in 28 at bats.
Well, I think he's taken out Kerry Wood when he's gotten the ball down. He's fanned him 12 times when he's thrown high fastballs by him. I don't think Sexson can afford to take another one in the ribs, however.
He's the Milwaukee Iron Man, as we alluded earlier. Breaking ball is taken low. 1 ball, no strikes.
And Sexson has grounded into 16 double plays this year. Only Royce Clayton has grounded into more of them. There's the career numbers against Kerry Wood.
Good rip, straight back.
Well, visibility right now not real good here because of the time of year. You're getting shadows around home plate with the pitcher and the outfield in bright sunshine. So you would think if Kerry can get ahead a couple of strikes, any kind of hard breaking ball low and out of the zone would send Sexson down to strikeout number 133. The key is you got to get the 2 strikes.
1-1 now. That's off the plate inside. 2 balls and a strike. Sednick and Ginter leading, and a good breaking ball freezes Sexson. And there is the 2nd strike you're looking for.
I don't think Richie's seeing the rotation on the ball. I don't think any hitter is seeing the rotation on the ball right now. 1 more of those, and we'll have to worry about the former Cub, Brooks Kieschnick. Or if you can get the ground ball, you don't have to worry about anybody.
2-2. Jammed it badly. Ramirez will step on the bag. The throw to first is in time. Heads up double play started by Aramis Ramirez. That's the only play he had. He forces Posednik, throws out Sexson, and the Cubs maintain a 2-run lead after 1.
Well, look here. He's playing DraftKings Showdown. Let's pick a captain.
Well, analyzing everything from historical pick 6 data to if the head coach wears a windbreaker, I say defense.
Kicker.
Kickers don't score enough. And I'll thumb wrestle anyone who disagrees.
How many career points did you score, Adam Vinatieri?
More than any NFL player ever.
How do you get a mic? I don't even have a mic.
Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and feel the NFL action like never before.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Get all the cleaning items you need at Menards. Check out our great selection of Liebman products. Our shelves are stocked with brooms, mops, scrubbers, and more to keep your home sparkling clean. Save big on all Liebman cleaning supplies. Get the best batteries for your electronics with Railback. Right now, get a 24-pack of high-energy AA or AAA batteries for just $4.99 each after rebate. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Gear up for the stretch run with a great selection of MLB Authentic Collection caps, jerseys, and everything else you need to enjoy the game. ShopCubs.com for all things baseball. Doug Glanville hits a rope into right center field. A leadoff second inning single for the Cubs center fielder. Next weekend, we're home against the Cincinnati Reds. Good tickets still available.
I think the Cubs found out something about Davis when they faced him at Wrigley Field, and that is more times than not, if you're right-handed, you're going to see something away. If you see it in, it'll be in off the plate. So you can use the inside outswing or hit the ball the other way. Same result.
Runner was going, and Miller fouls it straight back. Count even to the ball and a strike. Ironically enough, the last time the Cubs were here to conclude that 4-game sweep of a series, Kerry Wood started the game for the Cubs that day as well. He did not factor in the decision as the Cubs went 17 innings before subduing Milwaukee 4-2. Off the thumbs of Miller and out of play again. Good catch by one of the fans sitting in the front row of the second deck.
We'll just have to hope that this one goes considerably less than 17 innings. Bottom of the ninth, and a flourish of a finale would be nice.
Again, Miller will face a 1-2 pitch from Doug Davis. The Cubs have an off day tomorrow. Then we'll cheer like crazy for Milwaukee. They'll entertain the Astros. They're here tomorrow. They'll wrap up their long road trip with a 4-game series and send Roy Oswalt to the mound.
What they do have, Chip, is 15 games left against a combination of Houston and St. Louis. So regardless of what happens today, the Brewers will have a direct hand into who wins the Central and just maybe who gets in the wild card. If they dominate either or both of those teams, the Cubs have a great shot.
And Milwaukee's given Houston some trouble this year. They've won 5 of 9 against them, including 4 of 6 here at Miller Park.
They're facing him for the first time without Jeff Jenkins, and that's a big factor with a lot of good right-handed starters and especially tough right-handed relievers.
Houston again in San Diego later on today. The Astros. Wade Miller against Jake Peavy.
Jake Peavy's a pretty good young pitcher.
3-2. Runner again goes, and it's again fouled away. Davis already now with 35 pitches in this game.
Something they've been able to make him do here, they didn't just a short time ago at Wrigley Field, was pile up the pitches, make longer at bats. Glanville has to be careful because if Davis has a better move than he's shown, he's going to use it at first base here.
Broken bat pop up. And it's going to be handled by no one. Sexton's going to throw to second for one. The return to first, not in time.
Well, that was a real bad play by Damian Miller and a good play by Sexton. Miller was saved embarrassment by the fact that that ball bounced as high as it did. Sexton was taking a look at the ball and looking at Damian Miller, and Damian Miller was standing there in the batter's box. Watch Damian. He's standing there admiring his artistry on this pop-up. Glanville has no chance. He has to get back, and the return throw misses him by an eyelash.
So on the force play, Miller trades places with Glanville. 1 out.
Real heads-up play by Sexton, because even if you don't get the double play, you take a speed burner off the bases, you replace him with a catcher. That's the worst that can happen.
They very nearly got the double play. Wood pushes a bunt toward Sexton. The sacrifice is good. Miller in scoring position with 2 outs now for Goodwin. 6th sacrifice for Kerry this year. Goodwin walked and scored in the first inning on the Sammy Sosa ground ball to second. We've already seen a couple of very strange defensive efforts in this ball game. The Brooks Kieschnick play in left, the Aramis Ramirez defensive excitement a moment ago, and now Richie Sexton a heads-up play nearly turned it into a double dip. Strike 1 to Tom Goodwin.
Normally, with left-handers against Davis, what they take away is his ability to throw that good straight change. Very few left-handers will throw the great straight change to left-hand hitters. That's why, by and large, even Mike Remlinger has more trouble with left-handers than right-handers.
That floats in over the inside corner.
Damian would like to get a pretty good jump because the outfield is not overly deep. And the arm's really better than average all the way around for the Brewers. And although nobody's paying any attention to him at second, on a hard hit base hit, could be a close play at the plate.
Ball 2, strike 2 to Tom Goodwin. And that'll retire the side. Davis has his first strikeout. Cubs maintain a 2-run lead.
You've been on the edge of your seat.
Monsters of the Midway are an absolute force.
You've held your breath through the final seconds.
23 puts it up. He sends it deep to left.
You've been there for the thrill of victory.
Chicago recovers. The drought is over. Chicago's won it all.
And we'll be with you for that next magic moment. You can bet on it. Bet Rivers, Chicago's hometown sportsbook.
Have old outdated windows? You know, the ones that are drafty, ugly, and hard to open and close. It's time for beautiful new energy-efficient windows that will start saving you money on the day they're installed. Call Window Works today. We're rolling back prices with half-price savings. For your free estimate, visit mywindowworks.com.
I absolutely love my windows. It was probably the best investment that I've done on our home.
For beautiful, energy-efficient windows that will start saving you money on the day they're installed, visit mywindowworks.com. Call Window Works today. We're rolling back prices with half-price savings. Visit mywindowworks.com. Window Works, done right the first time.
6G. Network.
It's 1:15 a.m. and time for another classic hit.
So Brooks Kieschnick will lead off the Milwaukee's second inning of play. Kieschnick has had a pretty good run of it against Cub pitching this year. He's hit a couple of home runs against the Cubs, has 5 in total, 9 driven in.
One of the problems with Kieschnick when he was an everyday player was that he had a very long swing, and consequently you could throw it in on his hands and throw it by him all day long if it was up.
Rounded up the middle and into center field. There's the second Brewer hit. Kieschnick, the only player in the major leagues this year, is homered as a pitcher, a position player, a pinch hitter, and as the designated hitter.
Well, if you saw the location of that pitch, you'll realize it was out away from Kieschnick, and that's what Brooks wants. He wants to be able to extend his arms. And he got the second hit of the game off Kerry Wood.
And now Wes Helms, the young slugging third baseman, stands in looking for his 20th home run and 60th RBI. 2-0 Cubs lead very early at Miller Park. Lively place to play with the warm weather here in southeast Wisconsin.
Helms did something last night that he hasn't been doing. That'll help his batting average if he keeps doing it, and that's going to right and right center field. Early in the series and early in the season, he was trying to pull everything.
Kerry Wood still trying to find his groove here at Miller Park. Falls behind Helms, 2-0. Helms had a couple of hits last night. He doubled and singled. Out of play to the right side. 2-1 your count. would imagine, Steve, the Brewers are pretty happy with this kid's play. He's been around the major leagues a little while, but hasn't been an everyday third baseman until coming from Atlanta in a trade.
Well, I think they're real happy with him, Chip, because we saw in the Cubs pursuit, it's real hard to find third basemen who can generate power and drive in runs. And with more play, Helm's going to be able to do both, and he has the strongest arm in the league from third.
2-2.
So back to his natural position, he's had to relearn the position. The Braves used him at first base a lot. They moved him around, and at first the footwork was a mystery to him. Now he's getting the footwork back again, and he's awfully strong.
Breaking ball takes care of him. First strikeout for Wood in today's game. 1 on, 1 out.
Good sharp breaking ball, and it freezes Helms. You see the knees buckle. When that happens, there's not much you can do except hope that it goes low and out of the zone. It didn't, and he was out.
Here's Eddie Perez, the catcher. 9 homers, 43 driven in. He's hitting .267. Look at this Brewer team, Steve. Where do you think Ulis Payne, Doug Melvin, Ned Yost and company go first as far as free agent opportunities?
Well, I think they make a determination, one, on just where they want to go with the payroll. That will determine then where they go as far as free agency. Now, they've got a couple of good building blocks in Jenkins and Sexton. They think that Bill Hall will be their shortstop of at least the immediate future. They like Ginter's play at second. They want to upgrade behind the plate. They would love to get a bona fide 1, 2, or 3 starter. There's no secret about that, but those guys are real expensive. And they'd like to shore up the bullpen, which has been a problem.
That's a wild swing.
Now, that being said, if you try to address all of those issues, it costs you a whole lot of money. And we know the Brewers, despite this overwhelmingly populated series, haven't drawn as well as they would have liked. So they've got to depend on their farm system. They're very good at the low levels, but they're a while away from developing in the major leagues.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez watches that dance in the dirt. They're real excited about Ricky Weeks, Prince Fielder, Tony Gwynn Jr. Got some young pitching at the A and AA level.
And they've got some good hitters, but they're all probably a good, let's say, 1.5 to 2 away. So they're going to have to find some guys to act as stopgaps, given the opportunity. But Sednick has taken over.
2-2. Grounded toward third. Ramirez to second for 1. And plenty of time at first as Womack flips that over Kieschnick's head for an inning-ending double play. Nothing happening in the Milwaukee second. Cubs maintain their 2-0 lead.
The future depends on teachers. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there is a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work.
Sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change.
And generating possibilities for a student who will become the first in their family to graduate college.
Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach.
Well, look here. He's playing DraftKings Showdown. Let's pick a captain.
Well, analyzing everything from historical pick 6 data to if the head coach wears a windbreaker, I say defense.
Kickers don't score enough. And I'll thumb wrestle anyone who disagrees.
How many career points did you score, Adam Vinatieri?
More than any NFL player ever.
How do you get a mic? I don't even have a mic.
Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and feel the NFL action like never before.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for Warby Parker glasses, which, by the way, start at $95, including prescription lenses. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah, about those prescription lenses. Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with scratch-resistant and anti-reflective coatings. Nice. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
It's now time for an Icons of the Ivy Hall of Fame Spotlight, presented by Miller Lite.
Sweet swinging Billy Williams spent over 50 seasons in the Cubs organization, 16 years as a player, 15 years as a coach, and over 2 decades in the front office. Billy was the fixture around the ballpark, doing what he loved doing best, talking, hitting. Billy practiced what he preached when it came to hitting, belting 392 home runs as a Cub. He hit .296 and drove in 1,353 runs with the team. Billy's name wasn't penciled into the starting lineup, it was written in ink, as he set a then National League record 1,117 consecutive games played. Billy collected 200 hits 3 times, was named the National League Rookie of the Year in 1961, won a batting title in 1972, and was selected to 6 All-Star games as a member of the Cubs. Billy was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1987.
2-0 your score. We're in the third at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
And remember, for those of you who might not have seen the game yesterday, the Cubs have some big shoes to fill in that bullpen. Antonio Alfonseca's suspension's been reduced from 7 to 5 games, but he's serving his second today.
Slowly hit ground ball to Ginter. Womack hustling down the line is retired. And there's one away in our third inning. Next Monday, September 15th, celebrate country music at Wrigley Field, courtesy of Southwest Airlines. The newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, Capitol recording artist Trace Adkins will appear at the game. Country music memorabilia will be given away throughout the ball game, and one lucky fan will win a trip to Nashville and a tour of the Grand Ole Opry from Southwest Airlines. The Mets are in town. A 7:05 start. For our tickets available, get them by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit us online at Cubs.com.
Sammy hit the ball as hard as you can hit it the first time up.
Sosa with his 91st RBI on that ground ball out. Looks at ball 3 away. 3-0 to Sosa.
Well, Sammy's going to get the 3-0 green light. The ball's going to probably be away, and let's see if it's good enough to swing it.
It was, and he missed a double. 3 balls and a strike. Everybody in the traveling party really excited about, first of all, the day off tomorrow. It's been a real emotional grind for those players, the coaching staff in that clubhouse. And then the trip to San Juan, a real unique feature of an endeavor as Sammy hits that up the middle and into left center field. One that's been very successful for Major League Baseball and for the players of Latin American descent, a chance to play close to or in their homeland of San Juan. Sammy Sosa, Moises Alou from the Dominican, for example, will I'm sure have large contingents of fans to greet them.
There's the TV schedule. WGN. That'll be the first game on Tuesday night. And Fox Sports Net Plus right here on Fox Sports Net. Sosa hit that ball awfully hard again, so in 2 at-bats, he's crushed the ball twice against Davis.
1 ball, no strikes to Aramis Ramirez. He hit the soft fly ball to left that Brooks Kieschnick misjudged. That turned into a 2-base error, but Ramirez was credited with a sacrifice fly that brought home Tony Womack and gave the Cubs their second and final run.
The Cubs are going to have 2 guys driving in over 100 runs, although Ramirez is going to drive in the bulk of them with Pittsburgh. He's come and done a nice job here. Kenny Lofton's participation for the Cubs has been remarkable, not only hitting .318, but for the Cubs he's scored 27 runs in the 38 games in which he's worn a Cub uniform. Translate that into a full season, that's pretty impressive.
1-2. Did not get the call off the plate. Evens up the count.
Floridas are hammering the Montreals in Puerto Rico. Easy to come back in that ballpark, however, with the very cozy lines and alleys.
I'm looking forward to it. Baseball with a samba beat starting Tuesday night. Speaking of pounding, the Cardinals have jumped in front of Cincinnati with a 3 spot. 3-0 the score at Busch Stadium. Ramirez works the count full now, 3-2.
Well, the question is, do you want to run with Sosa? You have the lead. If you think that Aramis will make some contact, it's a good idea. If you don't, leave him there.
He is going. And Aramis does make contact. And Hall kicks it, and all hands are going to be safe. He's 6.
This is not the best defensive team in the league, and they're not having the best defensive day. 6th error of the year for Hall. He's taken over every day at shortstop. Royce Clayton has had a tough time, and they view Hall as their shortstop of the future. But Milwaukee in pitching a couple of spots below the Cubs. In fielding a couple of spots below the Cubs.
Here's Randall Simon. That ball dancing in on his hands. 1 ball, no strikes.
In fact, the Brewers team ERA over 1 point higher than the Cubs. That translates into a lot of runs at the end of the day.
Ball 2 low to Simon. White Sox trailing 1-0 to Cleveland. That game bottom of the 2nd inning at U.S. Cellular Field. Huge game at Yankee Stadium where the Red Sox and Yankees are scoreless in the 7th. Swing and a drive. Belted. Take measure shot for Simon. Abe Froman might be the sausage king of Chicago, but Randall Simon is the sausage king of Milwaukee. A huge home run yesterday, a 3-run shot in the 3rd today, and the Cubs break it open, leading 5-0. And you're right, Steve, the lefties have done most of the damage.
Well, Davis fell behind Simon for the 2nd time in a row, and this time Randall just exploded one into the 2nd deck. He's now hit 14. He's driven in 65. And the Pittsburgh Pirates' gift to the Cubs might just propel them to a division title. That was a rocket. And the Cubs lead by a 5 spot. They did the same thing last night. Now the Brewers are far from locked out of this one. The Cubs had 2 in the 1st and 3 in the 3rd. It's Groundhog Day. Not exactly. It just feels that way. That was the movie. They did it again.
I keep waiting to see Andy McDowell and Bill Murray show up, for crying out loud. I think Ronnie would make a very good Ned Ryerson.
Then
that particular film. 5-0 in our 3rd inning of play.
And Davis experiencing a lot more problems this time than he did a few short days ago. Cubs are just hammering it.
Just the 2nd home run he's allowed since coming to the National League. Ramirez rolls that off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 14 homers, 65 driven in for Randall Simon. He's poked home 14 runs, and this is 18th game. Low foul and out of play again.
The Cubs can win one here. Not only will they sweep the season series, not only will they at the worst be a half game out of first place, they will have bought 3 games with Moises Alou still suffering from a very sore and swollen leg. And with him out of the lineup, and you figure give him the off day tomorrow, he should be ready to go against the only team that will have a winning record in all of the teams the Cubs will have faced after they ended the St. Louis series.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Ramon. There's the 2nd out of our inning. Montreal, though, only 1 game over at this point at 72 and 71. And as Steve mentioned, they're losing again today to the Marlins.
Well, you don't mind them being cold at this point, and Vladimir Guerrero has had some physical problems. He hasn't been the same. Montreal has lost 7 of the last 10.
Doug Glanville singled in the 2nd inning. Later was forced out on a real heads-up play by Richie Sexson.
Gene Shalit looking on.
Swing and a drive line to left. Kieschnick will make the play, and that'll retire the side. A 3-run homer by Randall Simon is his 14th of the year. And the Cubs indeed, deja vu all over again, lead 5-0 here in our third.
We love the holidays, but they can be stressful and sweaty.
I sweat profusely from my armpits.
There are times where my underwear is soaking.
I hate having sweaty feet.
That's why we created Carpe, sweat care to keep you dry everywhere.
I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
It stops the sweat every single moment of every single day.
So this holiday season, you won't have to be an ugly sweater. This holiday, give the gift of dry. Get your limited time holiday offer at mycarpe.com.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess, less energy, less drive?
Definitely.
It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age.
Happened to you guys?
Yep.
So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text GENT to 369-369. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text
For a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text GENT to 369-369. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's GENT to 369-369.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Popped by Bill Hall, shallow right. Into the shadows goes Sammy, and he makes a fine running catch. And that's what Kerry Wood needs. One pitch, one out here in our third inning.
Pretty good play by Sosa, because when you leave the sunlight and you move into the shadows heading toward the line, it's not necessarily an easy play. Sammy able to make that play.
Here's Davis.
I'm thinking this might be a tough at bat for Doug Davis. Coming over from the American League, where he didn't hit at all. He's at 12 at bats and one single to show for it.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Big lead for Kerry Wood. 5-0. Line into left field, a base hit to the pitcher.
Davis guessed that it would be a fastball. You'd figure that on 3-2. He got it on the inner portion, and he hit it hard. And then do a good at bat for Doug Davis. Now Randall Simon, I think, is going to tell Kerry Wood that he's going to play off the bat.
Kerry Wood can pick up the win today. The Cubs would have 4 pitchers with 12 or more wins. They haven't had that nice accomplishment since 1969. Pryor with 15 leads the staff. Zambrano at 12-9. Wood 11-11. Matt Clement 12-11.
And the Cubs can still turn 9 double plays. You can get Podsednik to hit the ball on the ground. He does have very good speed, but he's grounded into 10 double plays this year. They went 5-3 in the first, 5-4-3 in the second. Let's see if Kerry can make a good pitch here. Simon is behind Davis at first.
2-2. Fisted foul. Wonder what the record is for most double plays in one game term.
Joe Corneo can look that up in a 9-inning game or an extra inning game. I would say maybe 7. Oh, it's right there. I see.
Well, you are a good guesser, but you'll be put to the test in the 4th inning because we all know it's Aflac trivia question time. That pops away from Miller. No advance by the pitcher, and it's another 3-2 count. This time to Podsednik.
He's fanned 80 times, so you wouldn't think 5-0 down they would run with Davis. Davey Nelson, the first base coach, former WGN analyst, filling him in on what he wants him to do. And it was stay right here. There's a look at Davey Nelson. The gracious Ron Santo says they've taught him everything he needed to know about radio analysis.
Did he go? He did not. Wood walks another man. And now Davis to second. Podsednik is at first.
Kerry's had 3-2 counts on the last 2 hitters, and it's provided 2 base runners.
And now he hits Ginter for the 2nd time.
Well, he hit him with the same pitch, a rolling breaking ball. And oh, the Cubs have broken on top. They haven't been able to put the Brewers away.
Ginter thinking, hey, maybe I better check my left arm. That big M might be an X.
And you saw frustration on the face of Ginter and Larry Rothschild. It was more painful, however, for the second baseman.
So here's Clark. He popped out. And he pops out again. This one in foul ground. 2 outs. But you now have to face Sexton again. Kerry Wood's gotten 2 outs on 2 pitches, but in between he's given up a single, a walk, and a hit batsman.
6 times in his power pack career he's hit grand slam home runs. Kerry Wood, who forced him to ground into a double play the first inning, just needs 1 out here.
Right past him.
He can never catch up to it upstairs, especially at 98 miles an hour. He'll throw it by him again. You set him up there and you wipe him out with the curveball, and that should be about it.
1 strike. That missed the inside corner. Bouncing ball to third again. Ramirez will flip to second in plenty of time. Hard slide in there by Ginter. Womack hops over the top, and the Brewers fail to score in the third. 5-0. Cubs have the lead.
Network. At Leader Automotive, we don't follow, we lead. Our #1 priority is to give you the best car buying experience possible. You can feel the difference the moment you walk into one of our dealerships. And it's not just selling you a car, it's following it up with world-class customer service. That's what leaders do. That's the Leader Automotive Group. Come visit us or go to leaderauto.com.
Leader Automotive Group, together we lead.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. Zero compromise.
Two. Fisted into shallow right field. And that'll be caught by Keith Ginter for the first out of our 4th inning. Still no score in the Bronx. David Wells and Jeff Sappan. Yankees and Red Sox hooking up. Boston's won 5 in a row. They've pulled to within a game and a half of the American League Eastern Division lead. If the Bostons win that one, George Steinbrenner is going to go crazy.
Well, he's already said, Chip, that he's not going to make any plans to fire anybody the rest of this season. That's really big of it.
1 ball, no strikes.
This thing is worth the 7th of September. Who's he going to bring in to manage that team?
Well, Tyler Kepner in the New York Times said George Steinbrenner, of all people, is suddenly preaching patience. He said he promised not to fire Joe Torre, Brian Cashman, or Torre's coaches, quote, at least not now.
Not till the end of this year. That's excellent.
1-2. 1-3. Down goes Kerry Wood. There's the 3rd strikeout for Davis. Base is clear for the top of the order and Tom Goodwin. Toronto beating the Tigers 7-0. Detroit on their way to loss number 105 on the year.
I would think that they would have some trouble coming back in that one. They find themselves now a scant 38 games behind both Chicago and Minnesota.
Well, since 1900, the worst team was the '62 Mets. They lost 120.
But besides that,
the beloved Spiders of Cleveland.
My Spiders.
1899 Cleveland Spiders went 34-120. That's a real bad year.
It was, however, a deceiving statistic. They played in tough luck. The pitchers had some problems, I'll grant you that.
Well, their best was 4-30 that year.
That, however, was the lively ball era, as we knew.
Yes. I think the Spiders that year as a team hit 26 home runs. A little pop down the left field line out of play. What makes it so interesting was a few years earlier, 1892, they were in the World's Championship. They lost to the Boston Beaneaters despite the heroics of Cy Young, who pitched for the Cleveland Spiders that year.
They were so depressed after that 1899 season, they changed the name.
They cleaned house.
Literally. They threw out the house.
0-2 to Tom Goodwin. Bases are clear. Top 5 Cub hitters have all scored a run today. Fourth inning in the books. We'll take a break, come back leading 5-0.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
They're just kids. Hungry, homeless, and vulnerable. Abused kids often feel safer on the street. Now, more than ever,
That's the most dangerous place of all. Covenant House is rescuing and protecting kids during this COVID-19 crisis. We're providing safe shelter to thousands, but the need is overwhelming, and no child is ever turned away. Please call or go online now with your gift of $19 a month to help a homeless child. You'll provide safe shelter, hot meals, and medical care. Your gift will show our kids they're loved. Homeless kids are afraid and alone, with nowhere else to turn.
You want to know that there's somewhere you can go that's safe. So the Covenant House did that for us.
Please call now. With your gift of $19 a month, we'll send you this soft, comforting blanket to show you're helping our kids. Please don't wait. In our national crisis, your gift is the lifeline a child needs. Please call or go online to safeplacetosleep.org now. Thank you for saving precious lives.
Here's Keeshnick. Well, it could change today behind Kerry Wood. He's got a 5-0 lead now. And in the fourth inning.
An oddity in the scheduling has the Cubs making just 2 visits to both St. Louis and Milwaukee. So it increased the chances of the sweep. Not going to happen in St. Louis anytime soon. The Cubs 12-42 there since 1996. If the Cubs can hang on to this one, like that young man, they'll sweep them here this year. Glendon Rush throwing in the pen.
And down on strikes is Keeshnick. That's the second Kerry Wood strikeout today.
Well below his average.
That one all the way to the screen.
The fate of Doug Davis lies in the hands of Elms, Perez, and Hall. If they can put a couple of men on, then they'll take down Davis, and we will see Glendon Rush. If not, Davis will pitch probably one more inning.
Sharply hit ball and under the glove of Ramon Martinez and into left center field for a base hit for Helms.
Infield here is pretty fast, and that curveball again just hangs up there. So one of the reasons why Kerry has just a couple of strikeouts today, where he normally at this point would have 4 or 5, is that curveball hasn't been near as sharp as it's been in games past. He'd love to get Eddie Perez to roll over the top one, ground to the left side, turn a pair, and get out of the inning. He was able to accomplish that in the second.
1 ball, no strikes. Glendon Rush is the man up in the pen as Perez looks at an even count. Randall Simon's 3-run homer powers the Cubs to a 5-0 lead. This crowd
subdued at this point.
Yes.
You can understand that this is excitement central on a Saturday night, so the folks probably out a little bit later than they normally would be. They do have the 10 o'clock curfew here and all. A little laid back today.
2 balls and a strike.
Do you know how rare it is to sweep a season series since they've moved to divisional play?
I'm going to guess, Steve,
a road series
4 times.
Take a look at that. Well, the Doves couldn't play very well. Phillies and Brewers and Padres.
They didn't have a.
Oh my!
They didn't have enough of a warlike attitude. The Doves. Fly ball to right. Sosa makes the catch. Helms thinks about tagging. But he's not going anywhere. There's the second out. How'd the Doves fare against the Hawks that year? Bill Hall hitless in his last 13 at bats. And he swung at the first pitch he saw in the 3rd inning and flied out to right.
So if Hall does get on, that means that Davis will most likely be departing. Thinking that his single in the 3rd was a bit of an aberration. Now, John Vanderwall has had some leg problems. That's one of the reasons why we haven't seen him in the series. Normally, he's a good left-hand bat off the bench. Also have Jason Conti, another left-hander. He could come into play.
Fly ball right center field. That ball tailing towards Sosa. Sammy long run. Can't get there. It's off the fence and off his body. Around third will come Helms. The relay throw won't be made. And Hall doubles home a run to make it a 5-1 score.
RBI number 14. And now Davis will be called back. That fastball on the inner portion. Hall inside outs it and puts a charge into it. We told you how lively it is here. That ball goes off the wall. And by the time the Cubs get it in, it's now a 5-1 game.
And Pete Zoccalillo, I think, is going to step in and bat for Davis. And that is the case.
Zoccalillo started last night's game in right field. And he was their AAA MVP this year. Hit .280.
And he's a former Cub farmhand. He came to Milwaukee with Ruben Quevedo in exchange for David Weathers a couple of years ago. 1 strike to Zoccalillo.
Only the 4th inning, still a long way to go in this one. And the Cubs, although they've jumped on top of these Brewers early, haven't been able to put them away in any of these games.
0-2.
In Zoccalillo's start last night, he went 0 for 4. 1 strikeout. Didn't hit the ball overly hard, and it doesn't look like he's going to adjust to that curveball anytime soon.
Another good stop by Miller. I tell you what, he and Paco have just been terrific behind the plate, knocking pitches down all year long, but especially noticeable in those close games with the Cardinals and here in Milwaukee.
This one out in front of home plate. When the ball bounces there, it's especially tough because as soon as it hits, it spins the reverse way.
A 2-2 pitch.
Well, if Kerry can get a curveball over the plate, he's going to strike him out. He does have a 4-run lead. You don't want to get to Podsednik. Let's see what Damian Miller has in mind.
Line foul. And Zoccalillo will stay alive here.
Well, that was a curveball, and he did a good job of fighting it off. Give these Brewers a little credit, despite the fact that they are under talented at this point against some of the better teams. They still play as hard as they can, and they're in most every game.
Right down the middle, Wood throws his man. He loses the shutout bid, but he still has a big lead of 5-1 after 4.
When they're afraid of eviction, but not of hard work, they keep it going. When cupboards are empty, but wish lists are full, they keep it going. Your monthly donations through the pandemic have helped rescue Christmas for families in need. But now more than ever, we need your help to keep it going. When you give $25 a month, you help families stay in their homes. Thanks to you, hope marches on.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GREAT to 642-642. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GREAT to 642-642. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. That's GREAT to 642-642.
Okay, which one is better? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Nearly 1 billion people live with completely avoidable vision loss. Don't be one of them. Get your eyes checked.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. With your help, more moments of hope are possible. Join our fight. Save lives.
Brewers go to the bullpen. They have Glendon Rush.
We've seen a lot of him lately, and he keeps getting hit. Last night he was on for a third of an inning, gave up a couple runs, only one of them earned. Gave up the 1 hit. And that hit was a 2-run homer.
Womack bunts. Nobody's at the first base bag.
You can do that and push it by the pitcher. There's really no way they're going to get out anybody with speed. That was a perfect bunt. Tony Womack had a base hit. That's pretty good execution. He's got a couple of hits today.
Sammy digs in. He's singled, scored, and he's driven in a run. Yankees lead cut in half by Boston. Now it's 2-1 in the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium. And Sammy drives that out of play. Braves have beaten the Pirates. It's a 2-1 final as Mike Hampton throwing very well. He's rediscovered that sinker. And Derek Jeter, you see, back in the lineup for New York as they've extended their lead now to 3-1. Marlins over the Expos, 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dontrell Willis pitching for Florida today. No swing for Sosa.
Sammy's always had good luck against Glendon Rush. 318 coming in. Ramon Martinez also happy to see him come into the game. He's hitting .571 against them.
So good start here for the Cubs. And Daniel Burciaga of Chicago, he's the contestant for our Toyota Fan of the Game inning. If the Cubs score here, Daniel wins a Fox Sports Net Toyota prize package, which includes a hat and a t-shirt. Runner goes. Sosa protects him and skies that one to right. Womack did not touch the second base bag, and he'll have plenty of time to return to first.
Well, they were trying to decoy him at second base. Both Hall and Ginter. An acting award does not go to Keith Ginter. Though he'd like to get some protective gear. He's been hit twice.
The state of Wisconsin's getting bigger and bigger on that left arm. Pop up to the right side. Ginter indeed will have a chance. Ramirez pops out. Here's Randall Simon.
Here's you're taking advantage of one of their tubular specialties.
Yes, indeed. A little hot dog action in between innings.
Can't believe you won't have the bratwurst.
You got to try new things, Steve. 1 strike to Randall Simon.
Long flight, you know, to San Juan, Puerto Rico.
I know.
And who are you picking in the sausage race?
I think we have to double up, too. Bratwurst has won the last 2. I'm not taking bratwurst today. I'm fully convinced that the fix is in.
Bratwurst could dominate the series, although Ron Santo rooting for the Italian sausage. Randall Simon, by the way, has never faced Glendon Rush. But he's pretty happy that he got a chance to face Doug Davis because he hit a towering 3-run homer against him in the 3rd inning. Randall's had a very good series. He made a great defensive play last night.
That's maybe the biggest surprise is how good Simon's been with the glove. He's been helpful with the bat today, a 3-run homer. And in the middle of the 5th, Cubs maintain their 5-1 lead.
Gotta watch the bunt from Podsednik because they're looking for base runners. And he's been on twice.
Once with a double, once with a 3rd inning walk. Kerry Wood has to work through this 5th inning to qualify for his 12th victory of the season. He has a 4-run lead. And pitch number 73 sails high. Ball 1 to Podsednik. Matt Morris, a no-hitter for the Cardinals as they get set to go to the 6th inning of play. Phil Norton, the former Cub, toiling for Cincinnati at the moment. We'll keep you updated on that ball game. Cale mentioned earlier, Houston in San Diego later on tonight. Cubs can grab a share of first if they win this ball game today.
Well, we would like to tell you who would break up that no-hitter, except I'm not sure who's in the lineup for Cincinnati. They traded just about everybody. Kerry Wood has fallen behind 3-1 on Podsednik, who drew the walk in the 3rd inning. The only one that Kerry's given up today.
Fly ball center field. Glanville should catch that. One down for Ginter. Keith back out of the way. Same pitch, same spot has hit him twice today.
He'd just like to see a fastball. Every time Kerry throws him a curveball, he hits him with it. Kerry's now hit 18 men. That's a lot. And on the other side, Ginter's been hit 15 times. That leads his team. I don't think you want to lead the team in that department, but he does.
One ball, one strike to Ginter, who's subject of one of our Bank of America playing to a higher standards. 8 tall rookies in home runs this year in the National League. And he puts a charge into that ball, but skies it again to center. Well, he's able to hit the ball before the ball hits him, but he's 0 for 1.
Always a good thing. And last night he had an RBI double and a 2-run homer to run his season total to 12. We'll see the Mets rookies when they come to Wrigley Field. And there are seats available for the rest of the season.
Here's Clark at the knees for a strike.
Cincinnati comes to town on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of September. The Mets come in right after them. And there's ticket availability for the remaining games. Let's see a celebration in one of those.
It's quite possible.
Of course, Houston would have to lose a few. And remember, Houston has 6 coming up head-to-head with the Cardinals.
And best case scenario for the Cubs, they split those 6. You don't want either team to rattle off like what the Cubs did. 5 of 6. 3-3 would be just fine. And if the Cubs can win 5 of 6 over that stretch, they're going to gain a lot of ground on somebody, and preferably both.
Alex Gonzalez is checked in at shortstop. He's taken over for Ramon Martinez.
Remember, Ramon couldn't make the grab on the Wes Helms shot up the middle. He's had some hamstring problems this year. That was back in the 4th inning. Hopefully there was no recurrence of those today. So Alex is going to lead off at the top of the 6th. 1-2 to Clark. Cubs by 4. And he waits on the breaking ball, and Alex is indeed tested. He's feeling fine and dandy today as his Miami Hurricanes were victorious last night. 3 up, 3 down for Kerry in the 5th. He leads at 5-1.
This is my first time trying on glasses at home.
So cute! 5 different frames from Warby Parker.
Oh, this one's better. Ooh. Ah. Hey.
The virtual try-on is perfect. Like, they look like they're on my face. Like, look at this. Just swipe and switch.
These are definitely a keeper.
I think these are the one. Ooh, these look good.
That was so easy. They make it so fun and fabulous.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Have old outdated windows? You know, the ones that are drafty, ugly, and hard to open and close. It's time for beautiful new energy-efficient windows that will start saving you money on the day they're installed. Call Window Works today. We're rolling back prices with half-price savings. For your free estimate, visit mywindowworks.com.
I absolutely love my windows. It was probably the best investment that I have done on our home.
For beautiful, energy-efficient windows that will start saving you money on the day they're installed, visit mywindowworks.com. Call Window Works today. We're rolling back prices with half-price savings. Visit mywindowworks.com. Window Works, done right the first time.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Alex Gonzalez to work in the 6th. And Glendon Rush pumps over a quick strike. Alex, 3 hits in his last 27 at bats. Boy, he has been as good as gold at shortstop all year long. He's made every play asked by the opposing offense.
And he could wind up with in excess of 20 home runs. The Cubs right now need his defense. They have the 4-run lead. Hits tied at 5. The Brewers have committed the only 2 errors of the day.
Pop back toward us. And luckily for you, Steve, it's out of your reach.
I want another shot.
That was a very poor effort the other night.
It was a bad play. I wasn't seeing the ball well. Limited visibility in the booth.
1-2. And that's downstairs, evening up the count.
Cubs would like to add to this lead. Put the game away, but it took them till the 9th inning last night. It was a 5-4 game, and they scored 3 in the 9th.
Alex down on strikes. Rush has his second. 1 away. Brewers are going to have an interesting decision and/or negotiation with Rush at season's end. Coming off a 12-loss season with a very big contract. They're not going to bring him back, but they might exercise the option, buy it out, and try to re-sign him. He says he'd like to stay here in Milwaukee, and if he does, one would figure, Steve, it would be in the role he's fulfilling right now as a left-hander out of the pen.
Well, he's been much better out of the pen than he was in the starting rotation. Doug Glanville has hit the ball hard 3 times, has 2 hits to show for it.
Here's Miller.
Damian Miller hasn't had the ball out of the infield so far. They play him straight away, and he's got a lot of friends at the game.
Five runs, 6 hits for the Cubs, 1-5-2 for Milwaukee. Driven down the right field line again, and that's out of play. That's over the outside corner. Rush has his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Kerry Wood getting an opportunity here.
Kerry, as you see, a sacrifice and a swinging strikeout today.
Had a chance to talk to Ulice Payne, the president and chief executive officer of the Brewers. Very happy with the effort of his Brewers, and very encouraged by the farm system and the foundation that these Brewers are putting together.
Ground ball up the middle by Kerry Wood into center field for a 2-strike hit. Glanville on his way to 3rd. He'll make it there with 2 outs. And the Cubs are threatening again.
Tom Goodwin walked to start off the game and then fanned a couple of times. He has an opportunity now to give the Cubs a little more breathing room.
Tom Goodwin led off the game with a walk. He scored on a Sammy Sosa rocket after Womack doubled him to 3rd. He has since struck out twice in a row. And the Cubs trying to go 7-0 this year against the Brewers at Miller Park. The old get off me ball swing. Wow.
Good one, trying to protect himself.
Little looper over short. It's dropped by Hall. And a heads up throw by Hall to fire back to 2nd. And an attempt to get Kerry Wood. But another run is in as Glanville scores to make it 6-1 on a bloop base hit.
That'll go as a base hit. And his 9th run batted in. Now it's a play that Hall probably should have made but didn't. That would have been a tough effort. That would have been a tough play, but he has a presence of mind to then make the throw behind Woody. And the Cubs have their 5-run lead back in place.
Tony Womack, the hitter. Steve mentioned earlier a very profitable day for Womack. He's got 12 hits in 34 at-bats since coming over from Colorado.
Mike Maddox to the mound. That'll send Wendell Kim scurrying out to talk with Kerry Wood. There's 2 outs. Wendell, I'm sure, is telling him if Womack hits the ball in the gap, you can score. We're not going to get adventuresome with you. However, if there's any shot, you can get thrown out. So you have a 5-run lead. We'll only score you if it's a no-doubter.
Popped up out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Womack.
Tony very happy since the trade. He's hitting 130 points higher.
Sharply hit, but to Ginter, he'll flip to second in time, and that'll retire the side. A run on 3 hits in the 6th. Bottom half, Cubs leading 6-1.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child regardless of race, income, or zip code, and who enable the full potential of our students, our communities, and our country. Shape the future. Teach.
The moment you order the world's most delicious snacks from nuts.com, something truly magical happens. Freshness. Your choice of fresh nuts, dried fruits, sweets, and treats are hand-selected from our kitchen. Freshly roasted to perfection or freshly baked, freshly dipped, freshly seasoned, or freshly popped. Packaged fresh, and nuts.com delivers this yumminess super fast with free shipping. Nuts.com. Fresh snacks from our kitchen to yours.
Double is good. There's a double play, a double feature, a double cheeseburger, and the best double of all, Elgin Hyundai's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new Hyundais. That's double America's best warranty at no additional cost to you. And you'll only find it at Elgin Hyundai. Visit Elgin Hyundai today on the double.
You're gonna like buying a car this way.
I love the Army. You just have this brotherhood that you can't find anywhere else. Since coming home from war, I've tried so many different things. I just remember thinking, like, it's over.
After being forced to medically retire, Angie battled addiction to prescription medications, eventually losing her house and marriage. Then she found Wounded Warrior Project.
And so I went online, I signed up, and I knew that Wounded Warrior Project was definitely my new community. One of the staff members, she put me in for peer mentor training. It was like for the first time someone recognized something good about me and thought that I had something to give back to someone else. Are you doing okay otherwise?
I've kind of picked up woodworking with my grandfather, so...
I saw the 3D stuff. All those activities gave me a new way to live without drugs, a new way to live without feeling like I'm broken. You can live a meaningful life after traumatic experiences.
You wouldn't go into battle alone. You don't have to fight this alone. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/notalone.
After our game, it's Fifth Third Bank Cubs Post. We'll have all the highlights and analysis of our game's action with Gail Fisher and Dave Otto. Don't miss Fifth Third Bank's Cubs Post immediately after us on Fox Sports Net. The Cubs are going for the series sweep. Their second in a row, potentially here in Milwaukee.
Dave Otto very excited because he's going to make the trip with us to Puerto Rico. He'll be there for the entire series on WGN Radio. Ron Santo will not be accompanying us down there. We'll see Ronnie when we get back home against those Cincinnati Reds. Huge attendance in this series. Many, many Cub fans have made the trip. Paul Bacco now behind the plate. He'll come on for Damian Miller.
6-1 Cub lead. Sexton to hit first. And Wood fires a blazing fastball high with pitch number 86 on the game.
Richie Sexton has been up with 5 base runners on and hasn't accounted for any of them. Maybe the biggest difference in this game is Kerry Wood's ability to retire Richie Sexton.
One ball, one strike. Fly ball hammered right center field, pretty deep. Back goes Sosa at the track. At the wall, leaping try, and he cannot get it. Richie Sexton unloads with his 38th home run of the year.
He was going to pick a time to hit one. That was the best time. He's driven in 108. And the Brewers get a run closer.
Sexton now 4 for 10 in this series with 2 home runs. But his 4th career home run among 7 hits against Kerry Wood.
Well, he's got tremendous power any part of the ballpark.
And it's remarkable to me too, Steve, the amount of damage he's still able to do without a whole lot of protection in front of or behind him in the lineup.
Well, you see the difference in the first 2 pitches. The one he threw by him was letter high, and the one he hit out of the ballpark was thigh high. And with an uppercut swing, if you keep it down there to Richie Sexton, he will do you a whole lot of damage.
Kieschnick way out in front with that helicopter swing.
It's a big man, folks. 6'7", and he's going to hit over 40 home runs.
That Cub fan will head home even happier with a souvenir.
Leo Estrella throwing in the pen.
Kieschnick down on strikes. That's the 4th for Kerry Wood. He's closing in on 8th place on the all-time Cub list for strikeouts. Mordecai Three Finger Brown has 1,043 of them. Kerry now 9 behind him.
Yeah, but Kerry is up 2 fingers, and he can put a lot more spin on the ball.
I'll trust your judgment on that, being the curveball expert. Here's Helms. He's singled, he's struck out, and he has scored.
The Wood curve and slider now has gotten a little sharper as the game has moved along.
Two down. Very interesting start from Kerry Wood, at least to this point, in that, Steve, first 3 innings, he only struck out 1 man. Now it appears he's got a whole lot left in the tank for the middle and late innings to try to get those punch outs.
The curveball and sliders come to him. Sometimes you just don't get the feeling for it because it's not a velocity pitch, it's a rotation pitch. So he obviously is getting a whole lot more spin on it these days. And Dontrell Willis and his spunky Marlins have defeated Montreal in Puerto Rico.
Line to left by Perez, and that ball's going to one-hop the fence. Perez on his way to second base, and he stands there with 2 outs.
Got a catching platoon between Keith Osick and Eddie Perez, and Perez has been the offensive counterpart of the 2. Lines up at second base, and Billy Hall, who hit the ball very hard last time up, steps in.
He lined to right in the 3rd. The RBI double came in the 4th. That also was rifled to right center field.
Have John Vanderwall in the on-deck circle. He'll make his first appearance of the series if Hall keeps it alive.
1 ball, no strikes to Hall. Pitcher spot due next. That's why Vanderwall is on deck. Braves beat the Pirates 2-1. Florida won, as Steve mentioned. Matt Morris for St. Louis has a huge lead of 5-0. No hitter through 6 at Busch Stadium. LA leads Colorado 3-1 in the third inning. That game at Coors Field. Later, Arizona looks to continue their futility against San Francisco. The Giants have just worn out the Diamondbacks this year. And the Mets take on the Phillies as well. Yankees beat Boston today, by the way. 3-1 the final score. Real good pitching matchup. Sapon against David Wells, and the Yankees got some runs late to win it.
Boston has their 5-game winning streak interrupted, and just when Boston looks like they're going to overtake the Yankees win a big game. Push them 3 back in the loss column, and Woody just missed Hall. That ball hits him, and now you have to face Vanderwall with a couple of men on. Again, that spinning breaking ball, not getting anything on it, and it drifts right at the right-hand hitter.
Pitch. He loses him.
Kerry just over 100, most unhappy with himself. He wanted to make Hall at the very least hit his way on, so instead of that he puts him aboard, and now he has to face John Vanderwall hitting .260. He's 5 for 22 with 1 lone RBI as a pinch hitter, and he's suffering from a groin problem, so he's probably not going to be able to beat out anything in the infield.
2 on, 2 outs. Cubs by 4 today. And that's all off the plate. The no-hit bid by Morris ends. The Reds get a base hit in the 7th inning. The trail at Busch Stadium 5-0. Dontrell Willis beat Javier Vasquez today with 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run baseball.
And the best part about that is the Cubs won't have to face Javier Vasquez.
They will, however, get Zach Day, Livan Hernandez, and Toma Oka, who got crushed in his last start. The Cubs have not yet made a decision as to who will pitch the Thursday series wrap-up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They will have Zambrano and Clement going Tuesday and Wednesday.
Now you can hear the Cub fans in the stands just trying to root Kerry Wood by John Vanderwall.
1-2 pitch. Caught on and missed. The throw to first in plenty of time, and Wood has his 6th strikeout of the ball game. Milwaukee gets a run on a Sexton home run, his 38th, but it's 6-2 after 6.
Hey, our reservation's at 7.
I am ready.
Great.
You look nice.
Thank you.
We love the holidays, but they can be stressful and sweaty.
I sweat profusely from my armpits.
There are times where my underwear is soaking.
I hate having sweaty feet.
That's why we created Carpe, sweat care to keep you dry everywhere.
I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
It stops the sweat every single moment of every single day.
So this holiday season, you won't have to be an ugly sweater. This holiday, give the gift of dry. Get your limited time holiday offer at mycarpe.com.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
Well, Stoney, the always exciting sausage race had a very interesting twist today.
They had a tag team, Chip, and this is really entertaining, but remember, it's always fun and games until you break your bratwurst, and that's exactly what happens. Watch the final leg of this race. Bratwurst going for the clean sweep, and all of a sudden, wait a second, oh, look at that. He wins the race.
Bratwurst almost broke.
Unfortunately, a tragic bratwurst accident.
as we are wont to say during the world famous sausage race, it doesn't matter whether you place or show, everyone is a wiener. 6-2 our score as we head to the 7th inning. Sosa, Ramirez, and Simon are coming up.
Leo Estrella on the hill, and this is the first right-hander that they're going to face.
Perhaps a portent of things to come. I think Brewers swept the series.
He did indeed.
So indeed it is Estrella, and Sosa sends a drive, belted right field, pretty deep at the wall. It's gone. Welcome to the game, Leo.
34 and 92 for Sammy, his second run batted into the day. And Estrella, who's on for the 50th time, surrenders his 9th home run in just 55 innings of work. That one just made it 533 of Sammy's career.
Aramis Ramirez shoots a ball into right field. That's in for a base hit. So he's on base for the 3rd time today.
Just when the Brewers sneak a little closer, the Cubs add another run. They've hit a couple of home runs today. A 3-run homer by Simon in the 3rd, and the solo shot by Sammy here in the 7th. So Estrella has come on just in time for 2 line drives. Apparently they want to see if Clark is okay. Everybody looking out at right field. He banged into the wall, and apparently he is okay.
Randall Simon, the hitter. A 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. That's pulled foul into the Milwaukee dugout. Ed Yost will make a friend in the front row. That one hammered right field. Clark again. All the way to the wall. It's gone. A 2-homer day for Randall Simon.
Runs driven in for Randall, running his season total of 67. The Cubs 9-2 on top of the Brewers, and Estrella having some problems today. 3 hitters, 3 Rockets, 3 runs.
That'll bring up Alex, and he'll roll it to the shortstop, Bill Hall, and handcuff him for a moment, but he gets his man for the first out of our 7th inning.
Like Crudale throwing in the bullpen. The Cubs obviously looking for a right-hander all day. Finally got one. And they punished him with 3 real quick.
The Cubs ready to hopscotch to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Here's Glanville. Dug today, 2 out of 3. A spot start.
Well, with this win, it'll be 7 out of 8 for the Cubs.
That's hit hard, but straight at Pasetnik.
Mike Maddox will talk to Leo about maybe changing speeds every now and then. Ball's going out harder than it's coming in. Dusty Baker has to be real happy. You worried about a letdown coming into this series after that very emotional, very dramatic Cardinal series. There has been no letdown in sight as the Cubs came up here and have poured it on.
That's hit hard by Baco right to the second baseman, and that will retire the side. 3 runs in before you can blink your eye. Sosa and Simon hit home runs in the 7th off Estrella. Heading to the bottom half. All Cubs in Milwaukee today.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for Warby Parker glasses, which, by the way, start at $95, including prescription lenses. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah, about those prescription lenses. Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with scratch-resistant and anti-reflective coatings. Nice. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess, less energy, less drive?
Definitely.
It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age.
Happened to you guys?
Yep.
So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text GENT to 369-369. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix.
Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text GENT to 369-369. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's GENT to 369-369.
Bullpen up and going for the Cubs, and Kerry Wood has any problems, they're probably going to take him down in this one. Otherwise, they'll let him get through 7 and then go to the pen.
Mark Guthrie up in the pen. I think Farnsworth is up as well. And Pasednik is the batter.
And Shane Nance up in the pen for the Brewers.
He's celebrating his birthday today.
Who'd have thunk it? Mark Pryor and Shane Nance in the same series celebrating birthdays.
Rolled foul toward the Brewer dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pasednik has been on base at least twice in every game. Last night he had 3 hits. A walk and a hit in the first game and a walk and a hit today.
Good little player. As big a thorn as he's been in the Cubs side, it's fun to watch him play. Plays the game right, plays hard.
We can only hope that he stays equally as hot against the Astros and the Cardinals.
2-2 pitch. This is high, full count to Scott Pasednik. 112 pitches for Wood.
Well, even if he hits it out of the park, you want to throw it right down the middle and say, here, hit it.
Bounced it to second. Leadoff man retired here in the 7th, 1 away. Here's Ginter, hit by a pitch twice. He's also fly to center. White Sox have tied the Tribe 2-2 now in the 7th inning. The American League Central race. White Sox and Twins tied for the lead, as it appears the bubble's starting to burst for Kansas City now. They're 3 back. That one hammered a long way down the left field line. Home run distance, but well foul.
Ginter hit that ball a long way. Foul by about 15 feet. Foul enough, as it turns out. And a big game for the Sox to come back because Texas is leading Minnesota.
Seattle loses again. They can't score all of a sudden. Mariners lose 2-1. That one popped up into shallow left. Goodwin and Gonzalez. Tom makes the play. And a quick second out into 7th. Seattle entered play today 2 behind Oakland. Oakland, though, got clobbered by Tampa Bay again. That's another one of those stories that not many folks talk about, and that's the Devil Rays under Lou Piniella. They're a much better team in the second half of the year.
Jason Conti comes on a pinch hit. The third lefty off the bullpen. I mean, off the bench.
Tipped off the glove of Baco. Nine runs, 11 hits for the Cubs. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 costly errors for Milwaukee today.
I think you get 7 out of Kerry here today, and you consider it a job well done and turn it over to the pen.
Little pop. Womack frozen for a moment. Tony tries to make a slight catch over his head, and Conti has a bloop single.
This one stays alive and hands the inning to Sexton, who homered last inning.
.108 RBIs for Sexton. Brewer team record is 126.
Well, you'd have to think that he would have a shot at it, although he's going to have to be very productive against some pretty good pitchers.
One ball, no strikes. Wayne Franklin will pitch against Roy Oswalt here tomorrow. Franklin, a young left-hander who's beaten the Astros twice already this season. And it's Tim Redding against Wes Obermuller in game 2 of the series. Mile high pop to the right side. Randall Simon makes the play, and that's going to retire the side. On we go to the 8th inning. Cubs in big command, leading 9-2.
College basketball is on Marquee Sports Network. Saturday, Nevada heads to North Texas to take on the Mean Green. Don't miss it. Saturday at 1 p.m. on Marquee Sports Network.
Join Marquee Sports Network and make the holidays brighter for families in the Chicagoland area by donating a gift to the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program. Get involved by visiting MarqueeSportsNetwork.com/angels.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Lee, and we live in North Pole, Alaska.
I'm a retired school counselor.
I'm a retired art teacher.
We met online about 10 years ago. As I got older, my hearing was not so good, so I got hearing aids. My vision was not as good as it used to be. Got a change in prescription. But the thing missing was my memory. I saw a Prevagen commercial, and I thought, that makes sense. I just didn't have to work so hard to remember things.
Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
6G. Network.
This is my house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. I can play with my sister, I can play with my brother, I can play with my mother, my father, my family. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house.
This is my house.
Visit Habitat.org to find out how you can help more families like mine.
Behind every sport, there is a business that drives it.
The total of that plus operation was $100,000 a day.
Forbes Sports Money goes inside the numbers.
I took the deal in equity
to explore the financial side of the games you love.
It's been very successful for us.
Forbes Sports Money. New episodes every month right here on Marquee Sports Network.
pretty good year down at AAA. I would imagine he's going to have a pretty good chance of making this team in 2004. Cubs love this kid's bat. But finding a position has been an elusive goal to this point for David. Originally a third baseman. Played some center field, left field. He can play first base. But his best position is the one in which he stands right now, and that's as a right-hand hitter.
Good day for Kerry Wood, in line to win number 12.
Last time again the Cubs had 4 12-game winners.
Somewhat hard to believe that glory season that should have ended the middle of August, but unfortunately they played the rest of it, and the Mets won in '69.
Fergie Jenkins had 21, Bill Hands had 20, Ken Holtzman 17, Phil Regan had 12. You have to go all the way back to 1945 since the Cubs have had 4 winners of at least 13 games in the same season. Hank Wise won 22, Claude Passot 17, Paul Derringer 16, and Ray Prim 13. As that also was the Cubs' last appearance in the World Series.
I would think they'd have a pretty good shot at that one.
Ball and 2 strikes to David Kelton. He did not swing. Ball 2, strike 2.
We saw Shane Nance last night. He threw the ball very well. 2 perfect innings with a couple of strikeouts.
Popped up right side. And Conti in the shadows makes the grab for the first out of the 8th inning. Back to the top of the order we go now, and Tom Goodwin. Tom has driven in a run. He's walked and scored. Another gigantic crowd at the park today. 42,127.
Pretty good series that we'll see in excess of 130,000 fans. I have to believe this is an all-time record for 3-game series. Yes, last night's game was an all-time record for 1 game. Over 46,000.
Pulled toward first. Richie Sexson bends over, and he will win the race to the bat. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Tony Womack hits. He's 2 for 4 with a run scored. Gale asked us during the pregame show if this Cub team was starting to approach the hero a day mentality, and they really have. Today it was Randall Simon's turn. Tony Womack with a 2-hit day. Tom Goodwin has gotten on base a couple of times and scored.
Troy O'Leary last night in a game that he wasn't supposed to start because Moises Salou's leg was still bothering him. He came on with 4 runs batted in.
Pop toward third. Out of reach of Wes Helms for a strike to Womack.
And then the first night behind Mark Pryor, they did it the conventional way. Sammy Sosa hit a 2-run homer. Cubs getting all the offense they wanted today. This team has shown no signs of letting down at all. In fact, just the opposite. Looks like they're starting to put the hammer down.
That's what Dusty said would be the challenge at the start of this series. You know the emotion, you know the drama, you know how meaningful those Cardinal games were. Human nature would have been to say, all right, we're going to Milwaukee. We can let our guard down. That didn't happen. Dusty said, pretend they're the Cardinals. And the Cubs have played just as intensely and just as well. Bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs leading by 7.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Wherever your journey takes you this winter, get away with our best deals of the season. Right now, get huge savings on the entire lineup of award-winning Hyundai vehicles at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving just in time for the holidays, it's the perfect time to get a Hyundai. Now, choose 0% APR financing or sign and drive on our most popular models. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
It's game time, baby! And you're just lying there? Watching on the couch? That's not gonna cut it. You need to get in the game with BetRivers Sportsbook. There you go. Now you're live in the action. Live in-game bets, live player props, and live instant betting. Bucket to bucket!
What happened here?
Don't just watch the game. Get in the game with BetRivers Sportsbook.
6G network.
So the Cubs head into the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's the Farns on. And Cubs bullpen in this series has been awfully good. In fact, that's been the remarkable aspect of this current run. That is, the starting pitching, which has been all the way along, has been picked up by a bullpen that's been close to unhittable during this, well, knocking at the door of 7 of 8 wins.
Kerry Wood threw the ball real well, and that's a rocket hit back toward us. And on the ricochet, back downstairs. That ball came to eat. Luckily, it was out of reach.
I had you covered. Don't worry about that. Farnsworth has been a very busy man this year. And the ERA pretty good. He's been throwing the ball very well lately. He's on for the 71st time.
Well, it all seems like the pen really put it together real quickly after the 2 heartbreaking losses in St. Louis. They didn't pitch badly in that series, but they had 2 bad innings. And that cost them a couple of games in the home of the Cardinals, but they've rallied since, throwing the ball exceptionally well. And Kieschnick, the first man to face the Farns, launches it back over our heads and out of play. Tipped and caught. Kieschnick strikes out for the 3rd time in a row. Kerry Wood today, by the way, went 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2 men, struck out 6.
Farnsworth's slider just keeps on getting better. And with that, you look at that 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball, he becomes close to unhittable.
I guess you could say, too, Kerry didn't hit 2 batters. He hit 1 batter twice. That was Keith Ginter.
He did indeed. Ginter would be the first to tell you.
Helms 1 for 3. No problem with Farnsworth's arm today. He's in the upper 90s.
He picked up an inning on Friday night, and it was a perfect inning.
A flare into center field, drops for the 2nd Helms hit. And Eddie Perez will be the hitter. He'll be back home again next weekend. The Reds will be in. And if you're at the ballpark Sunday, September 14th, and you're one of the first 10,000 fans, you'll get a collectible scratch-off card and a chance to win a Rawlings autographed baseball signed by Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. There'll be 500 random winners, compliments of Popeyes and Pepsi. Good tickets available for that 1:20 start against Cincinnati. Get them online at Cubs.com.
Arizona has jumped out to a 2-0 lead over San Francisco. That game in the second.
I don't know if Arizona's going to make the playoffs. It's an outside shot at best, but they're going to look back at that head-to-head series with the Giants as the bottom line on the 2003 season's tail.
Well, that and some disastrous injuries to the pitching staff, especially the two big guys. Arizona comes into this one 6 games out of the wild card. Montreal 6.5 out. The Cubs in the wild card 3 games out. A whole lot closer to the division title.
That's out of play by Perez. 1-2. Helms at first with 1 out. All Cubs today, leading 9-2. Double play ball. Womack fumbles for a minute, but with Perez running, you've got a lot of time. Farnsworth works the scoreless 8th. We go to the 9th. Cubs fans real happy today, leading by 7.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I'm 76 and I live on the Oregon coast. My husband Sam, we've been married 53 years. We love to walk on the beach, have 2 daughters and then 2 granddaughters. I noticed that memories were not there like they were when I was much younger. Since taking Prevagen, my memory has gotten better, and it's like the puzzle pieces have all been put together.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
We love the holidays, but they can be stressful and sweaty.
I sweat profusely from my armpits.
There are times where my underwear is soaking.
I hate having sweaty feet.
That's why we created Carpe, sweat care to keep you dry everywhere.
I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
It stops the sweat every single moment of every single day.
So this holiday season, you won't have to be an ugly sweater. This holiday, give the gift of dry. Get your limited time holiday offer at mycarpe.com.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess, less energy, less drive?
Definitely.
It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age.
Happened to you guys?
Yep.
So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text GENT to 369-369. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text GENT to 369-369. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's GENT to 369-369.
Bidding, he'll face Sosa, Ramirez, and Randall Simon.
Crudale was sent over from the St. Louis Cardinals. We saw him Friday night. He pitched a perfect inning. That was in the Mike Dijon deal. And for a while, nobody really thought the Cardinals would ever give him up. But as promising as his start was with the Cardinals, he fell on some hard times, and they moved him here to Milwaukee.
Ground ball toward Hall at short. He's been anything but sure-handed today. He makes a clean grab that time, though. And Sosa 2 for 5 with a couple of runs scored today. So as we look at our Bank of America higher standard, Sosa 1 home run from 11th all time, 1 behind Double X, Jimmy Fox.
What better place to do it than Bithorn Stadium in San Juan? He should have a real good series in that small park. Of course, if there is a hurricane and it's blowing in, it'll keep the ball in the park.
I think the Hurricanes are...
You think they're done?
A little farther east than San Juan. I'm looking forward to the trip. I think it's great for the game. Certainly baseball will tell you that it's been a positive experience. Bud Selig told us as much last night. They are still trying to decide whether the Expos will play there, Montreal, both places, or someone else next season. But I think it's got to be a treat too for the players of Latin American descent to play in a land where so many people are just as passionate about the game as they are up here. A lot of folks from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all throughout the Caribbean expected to flock to Hiram Bithorn Stadium for this final 3-game set. High pop, shallow right. Out goes Ginter. One-handed grab for our second out.
A lot of these players have played winter ball in Puerto Rico, and they've played in that ballpark. So getting a chance to play meaningful regular season games, and these are meaningful for both teams. It's starting to shape up that they're more meaningful for the Cubs than they are for the Expos. However, they still think they have a shot, as remote as it is, when you have to climb over 6, 7 other teams.
Now Montreal, with their loss today, falls 7 games out of the wild card chase. Fisted towards short. Hall's got it, and Crudale works a scoreless top of the ninth. 3 more outs to get, and then we're on to the tropics. So Mike Gremlinger, a tune-up job here in the 9th inning. He'll face Hall, then a pinch hitter, then Posednik. Cubs 9, Milwaukee 2. And Steve, one of your keys to this game certainly came true today. A new look lineup against starter Doug Davis.
He victimized the right-handers so badly at Wrigley Field that Dusty broke out the left-hand lineup. Against him, 5 for 14. 6 driven in, a couple of homers, and 4 runs scored. The lefties did indeed do the job today.
All lines it, caught by Ramirez at third. That was a rocket, but 1 man out.
Hall's hit the ball hard today.
Yost said as Cruz shoots that to left. And handcuffed Goodwin. He didn't see it real well, but he makes the play for the second out. Young teams and young players will make big mistakes. You got to work through them. The Brewers are playing well, but the Cubs a whole lot better in this series. The Chicago crowd rises as one. 1 more out to get for a series run of the table here in Milwaukee this year. 9-2 your score. Josh Paul, by the way, in behind the plate for the Cubs. It's his first work. With Gremlinger on the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2, 2-1. If the Padres can help out the Cubs, we'll spend the off day in first place in San Juan. Bounce toward third over Ramirez's head. Alex Fields fires, and he got his man. Cubs win it 9-2. What a series, and what a way, Steve, to start this road trip. A perfect 7-0 this year in the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Cubs, for the moment, tied atop the National League Central, and listen to the standing ovation as the Cubs head to their dugout in Milwaukee for the final time here in 2003.
That does it for this edition of Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen. Thanks for watching.